Croy circles Gallup. That's where Prescott goes for the touchdown. And Gallup is injured on the touchdown catch.
Mike McCarthy just dropped some big hints about Michael Gallup this offseason. 2021 was a rough year for Gallup. In Week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he exited the game with a left calf strain. In Week 17 of the same season, he suffered a grade 3 ACL tear against the Arizona Cardinals. He would appear in just 9 games. Despite that, the Cowboys gave Gallup a multi-year contract to stay with the team, which I was happy about because I am a Michael Gallup fan myself. The toe drag catches, the leaping ability, he has good hands. I was all for paying that contract. The deal was 5 years, $57 million with 23 guaranteed. If you break it down, pretty much a 2-year deal. The ACL injury bled into the 2022 season where he missed 3 games, but when Gallup returned, he just wasn't the same player. We didn't see the plays down the field, grabbing contested catches and making plays after the catch. He just didn't look like the same guy we were accustomed to seeing. But Mike McCarthy just made a statement about Gallup that might change how we look at this wide receiver group in 2023. Dallas drafted Gallup in the 3rd round of the 2018 NFL Draft. In 2019, Gallup looked like he was coming into his own as a receiver. He caught 66 passes for 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns, recording a 1,000-yard season in just his 2nd year. In 2020, he caught 59 passes for 843 yards and 5 touchdowns. A very promising start to his young career. But in 2021, that production dipped quite a bit. We talked about the 2 injuries he had. He appeared in just 9 games where he would catch 39 passes for 424 yards and 4 touchdowns. But now Mike McCarthy expects the 6th-year receiver to be a big threat in this Cowboys offense. McCarthy came out and said that he told Gallup he would be more featured in the offense this year compared to what we saw from him last year. With a new look wide receiver room in 2023, it's going to be interesting to examine how all of these targets are going to be spread out, considering you have Ceedee Lamb, Brandin Cooks, and Michael Gallup, not to mention Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot, which we'll talk about in a bit. Is interesting considering the team added a wide receiver that you would assume will be the number 2 guy, with Ceedee working in the slot a majority of the time. But I like it. Gallup facing the number 2 corner, you got Brandin Cooks on the other side, likely taking the defense's number 1 guy, and then Ceedee in the slot, likely taking the number 3 corner. I think it's great matchups all across the board. In one of the videos I posted a few days ago, I showed Gallup facing off against now Cowboys corner Stephon Gilmore, and that just wasn't Gallup's bread and butter, facing the number 1 corner. If Ceedee played more on the outside, then Gallup wouldn't have had to face opposing team's number 1 corner. But with Cooks now in the mix, there's a good chance Gallup doesn't see top flight corners on an every snap basis. 95% of you that watched my last video are not subscribed to the Double Move channel. Go down there real fast and hit that subscribe button if you're a die-hard Cowboys fan. Calvin Watkins, the initial reporter of McCarthy's comments, also came out and said, if Gallup can approach his production of 2019 or even 2020, the Cowboys will take it. And with McCarthy now the play caller, I believe that his promise to Gallup will be fulfilled. I think Gallup will have a much better role with this team compared to what we saw from him this past season. I think Cooks helps the situation out a lot, and if the Cowboys take a wide receiver or tight end early in this draft, it'll be an interesting dynamic to sort out who's getting all of these targets. Nevertheless, the main thing you're banking on with Gallup is he is back to his 2019 and 2020 self, healthy. Last year, he just wasn't that. Even with modern medicine, an ACL tear limits a player's ability to stop, turn, cut, and burst. He missed the entirety of training camp last season, Dak went out with a hand injury early, and Gallup was coming off his ACL tear. So you could easily say the odds were already stacked against him to begin with. I am a huge Michael Gallup fan, and I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to this team in 2020. I think he complements Ceedee well, and he just happens to be a good guy that is an absolute baller. I hope for nothing but success for him in 2023, and hopefully he can be an important piece to an explosive Cowboys offense this time around. Mike McCarthy certainly seems to think so. Now go watch this video where I talk about the perfect complement to Tony Pollard next season. Go check it out. I love you all.